Angel Reese was older, I would have gotten on her about what she just said. Because I would have been like, how naive can you be?
The WNBA is completely going insane. On the most recent comedy show, Angel Reese announced that she would depose Caitlin Clark as if the living legend would be overthrown by someone who has been preoccupied with pretending to be hurt and crying over on-screen drama. Oh, and don't forget about her complaining about her pay being below par. Angel's has been officially diluted.
Is a wonderful player, but she does not compare to what and who Caitlin Clark is when she's on the basketball floor. Plain and simple.
First of all, it's genuinely absurd. How does she believe she has what it takes to outperform Clark, the player who makes history every season? Reese has only improved at making fun of herself, but who knows? Maybe she's winning awards for being pathetic. Before Reese talks about taking over the WNBA, she might want to check her reputation first. Changing coaches won't make her the highlight. She needs to change her attitude.
Angel Reese, there's nothing that she does where you go, did you see her?
Angel Reese seems to believe that working with David Alexander, LeBron James's trainer, will make her the next big thing in women's basketball. Yes, it seems like working with one of the best trainers in the world will make her superhuman and ready to dethrone Caitlin Clark. However, while Reese is out there doing whatever it is that requires her to perfect her general movement patterns, Caitlin Clark is busy actually improving her shooting and playmaking. You know what matters when you're trying to be the best player on the court. Good luck, Angel. Clark is honing the talents that have already left you behind while you work on whatever it is. Reese may have enjoyed her brief time at LSU, but to suggest she's on par with Clark would be like declaring, "I'm going to release a new album after singing in the shower for 5 minutes." That's not competitive, it's crazy. While Caitlin is already out there redefining the entire game, Reese is out there talking about surpassing Clark, even though she was the queen of LSU. However, Reese tells me more about how you're going to dethrone a legend when you haven't even begun your professional career.
Me and Camille, this is the most we've ever lost in our life. I only lost 7 games in my last 2 years at LSU. So it's been hard for me, but adjusting and just kind of have that mindset of just moving on has been something I try to give myself a little bit of grace.
Now, let's go back to the 2023 NCAA Championship. You remember it? Reese was trying desperately to steal Clark's glory with that childish taunt, flipping the "you can't see me" gesture right back in Clark's face. Oh, that was a moment, all right, but for all the wrong reasons. While Reese was busy playing WWE with her hand gesture, Clark was out there effortlessly outscoring everyone, including Reese. Reese's big move was a flimsy attempt to make herself relevant by trying to steal the show for only 5 seconds. Reese was merely acting to get attention. This isn't the case.
There is no one like Caitlin Clark in the history of the WNBA.
And speaking of statistics, let's say that Reese's WNBA debut was unimpressive. Caitlin Clark, on the other hand, lights up the league with an average of 19.2 points per game and racks up assists as if she's been playing for years. In contrast, Reese scores 13.6 points per game, which is nearly 6 points less than Clark, in case anyone missed it. Oh, and let's not forget that Clark led all rookies and contributed 8.4 assists per game. What was Reese doing? She was still learning how to consistently make shots, but she gave it her all. Now, let's talk about Clark, who won Rookie of the Year, took that trophy easily, but it wasn't really close. In the meantime, Reese made it to the finals, which sounds like a participation trophy. At this point, Clark didn't simply win. She entered the league and made it plain that she was prepared to rule, and she's currently attempting to catch up to Reese.
I still ask you about Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
What is your stance on that?
So my whole thing was when I got drafted, number 7. So I'm like, cool. The pressure is not even on me because I'm drafted 7, so the pressure shouldn't be up there. So I'm like, all right, cool, I could just hoop. So I don't know when it started to just break out where I was just in Rookie of the Year conversations. I'm like, all right, cool.
It's because you started killing it.
Well, yeah.
And they're like,
but wait, things will get better. Reese's life off the court has truly turned into a circus. She signed a shoe deal with Reebok, which is really revolutionary for someone who hasn't even shown that she can regularly perform at the highest level. Let's celebrate that, Reese. Meanwhile, Clark is out and changing the game with every move she makes. Reese is busy posting her lifestyle on Instagram, which is cute and all, but if you think that will help you beat Clark, then good luck. If I were you, I would start concentrating on basketball instead of the number of likes your posts are receiving. However, since Reese enjoys discussing money, let's talk about it. She is out here highlighting her WNBA salary of $73,439 and discussing how expensive life is, saying that you're not exactly living in a mansion in Beverly Hills and that perhaps it's time to start budgeting better. Meanwhile, Clark is managing her business, concentrating on the game and obviously not worrying about the price of a Starbucks latte. Let's talk about this unmatched league, which Reese hopes will be her big break. With 34 of the best players in the world, this 3x3 league is scheduled to begin play in January 2025. Yes, it's a huge event because you have all these. It's not just about the money or the headlines. It's about actual performance, and right now, Reese's performance doesn't scream I'm ready for the big time. Elite athletes coming together and Reese walking into a lion's den look. I get it. She's going to earn $250,000 for the 8-week season, which is a huge step up from her meager $81,000 yearly WNBA salary. And sure, that's nice. This contest is screaming I have a lot of work ahead of me, and things become even more complicated from here. If Reese believes that showing up and having fun will make her the next big thing, she's in for a harsh wake-up call. Critics are already calling this an overestimation, and to be honest, they might have a point. Reese is entering a league with some of the most talented players on the planet. Yes, Reese, you may have your sights set on the spotlight, but when it comes time to play, the spotlight will be on those who can actually bring if Reese doesn't improve her game. This league might at least show how far behind she is from Clark and perhaps even show how far she still has to go before she's on the same playing field. It's talent, but Reese isn't even close to the caliber of players who've already proven themselves at that level, so while she might get exposure, she could also get exposed because there's no hiding when you're up against the best.
So I think it's really just the fans, her fans, the Iowa fans, now the Indiana fans that are like, they ride for her. And I respect that respectfully, but sometimes it's very disrespectful. I think there's a lot of racism when it comes to.
And this is a reality check. Reese may say all she wants about outperforming Clark, but ultimately, those are just words. When it comes to professional basketball, talk is cheap and will never get you anywhere. If you want to challenge the greatest, you must have the talent to support it right now. Reese's mouth is working harder than her game. She makes all these audacious statements, but the issue is that she lacks the ability to make them come true. Clark has already shown that she is the real deal, while Reese is still stuck in the I'll get there someday phase. And let's not forget that even though Reese is training with one of the best in the business, Clark is still out there, putting in the work that matters. You can't buy your way to the top. You can't just train with the best trainer and expect to be able to take down a legend. It takes years of dedication, consistent effort, and, most importantly, talent. While Reese is busy getting coached up on her general movement patterns, Clark is making history every time she steps on the court. So when Reese declares she's going to dethrone Clark, let's just say the only thing she's going to be dethroning herself from reality in this unmatched league? Sure, it's a great chance for Reese to gain some recognition, but let's face it, it could also be the point at which the gap between her and Clark becomes even more painfully obvious. It's easy to talk about taking over when no one is really challenging you, but when you face real elite competition, that's when things get tough, and Re is currently nowhere near Clark's level. If she doesn't improve and quit acting like she's already there, she will be a footnote in Clark's journey rather than the one to dethrone her.